Hi, it's Mindy Russell. Let's talk about the culture and diversity of adult education. Cesar Chavez says we need to help students as well as parents cherish and preserve the ethnical and cultural diversity that nourishes and strengthens this community and nation. I think this is a beautiful statement that in so many ways, when it talks about nourishing the community, and I think of the community of adult education. One of the things that I think that we've done very well and done quite right is our culture of diversity and inclusion. The etymology of work culture. Work culture plays an important role in extracting the best out of employees. It makes employees stay in an organization for a very long time. The diversity of adult education shows up not only, of course, in our classes. It shows up in the belief of our teachers. It shows up in the attitudes in the classroom. One of the things that I think we do beautifully is we're very interested in our students. We take the time to find out about the student that has just moved here from Zimbabwe, and he has a whole different world to share with us. My English classes, I have thoroughly enjoyed finding out so many different things from so many different cultures, and I've been very fortunate not just to work on one campus at Calhoun, but to work on both. In my writing classes, I encourage open-minded discussions. We do this with our own staff as well. One of the classes last year, we have a young lady who is Hindi, and there is actually a festival yearly in Huntsville that she really encouraged the staff to go to. I learned more about her culture in that one day than I think I could have learned in probably 2 or 3 hours of conversation with her, because we don't get normally 2 or 3 hours of time together to have conversation. Over time we do, but not in a day. Collaboration. Collaboration is something that we've done on many, many occasions to discuss inclusion for the students. We've had many situations where students need time of peace, a time of prayer, and that happens for several cultures a couple of different times a day. So we try to be very aware of how we fit that in to our daily culture in adult education. Employee appreciation. Anytime I know that one of my employees has gone above and beyond doing something to accommodate, to create a safe space, just do anything important for our classes and our students. Come up with a new concept that is going to not just diversify what we do, it's going to make it a safer space, which is so much about what we do in adult education. And of course, there's the passion for what we do. We love our students. We love our program. I think I've said way too many times that adult education, ultimately, we are diversity. We are inclusion. We don't know any other way to be. We are not just the fair that we put on once a year at the college. So leadership alters the culture. So one of the things that we have to be able to trust in our leadership is when there is a difficult conversation to be had, something that isn't happening in a completely appropriate manner, that we make sure that they have the trust in, currently me, that I'm going to listen and affect that change. We know our history. We have so many creative ways of coming up with how we get our variety of cultures to become more inclusive with each other. One of the things that we do is, of course, we're Southerners, so we love to eat. So we have about once every 2 months, we have a get-together where everybody from different cultures and countries represent their country with food, and we love on each other with food. Growth. We reach out into all communities is something that I've been working very hard on over the last several months, more so than I've ever done in my past. Reaching into new incoming communities that really I'm finding out they're needing certain services that are not being offered by our colleges, and so that's something that we're working on pretty hard. The ability to replicate our people, cloning some of them would be so great. When we are hiring our people, we talk about the inclusive nature of adult education. We talk about our culture. We talk about it being a continual culture of change. I'm somebody that truly believes that, which Gandhi said, be the change that you want to see in the world. And that is something that I expect to be practiced every day. And I'm very, very fortunate to work with people that do that. Knowing your worth. One of the things that our instructors do very well is they keep preaching and talking about our students knowing their worth and speaking their worth in class effectively, daily. Beautiful to watch, by the way. Our unfortunate piece is knowing our costs. Knowing our costs is a sadness in education. It means that we can't reach into communities sometimes until the funding comes in. Actually working on 2 grants right now that will create a situation for us to be able to do a little bit more outreach that I think is truly needed. We actually need translators as well for different languages that we have not experienced until just recently, like Russian. Who would have thought we would have needed a Russian interpreter now? Know where you're going. We know that we're going, and we know that we're growing, and we know that we want to reach all communities. We want to touch all lives, and we want to do it in the appropriate manner. And then our next is our quote. Nelson Mandela said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." Beautiful quote. Beautiful quote. And I believe that it is saying that education is diversity. It is the thing that changes the world. The history of adult education, of course, the mission has always been to educate the masses, to be all things to all people in some ways. And we are. Every instructor in our program is a mom, a dad, a cheerleader, the person that tells the student, yes, you can, no matter what somebody told you that you couldn't do. Our current focus is not just education and to educate, but our current focus is also to get our students employed, and sometimes in the process of getting our students employed, we even hire our students. We've hired several instructors from our student pool. Education sector. These are the variety of different things that we do in adult education where our teachers just work on a daily basis. I just like to put it out there. The economics of education. Not really my favorite thing to discuss, but one thing that I do think the economics of education does speak to is complete exclusion. It does not care anything about what you're trying to do. It's the poor aspect of what we do. The future of education. Flexibility is the future of adult education. We've seen this onslaught of a new age during the pandemic. It has made things harder. One of the things that I think our students and our faculty are doing so very well is the conversations are still happening. The inclusion is still there. The wealth of diversity is still there. The caring is still there. The dream is still very real, and it's becoming a newer dream, even daily. And here's Works Cited. Thank you for listening to me discuss our little work culture in adult education. Have a great day.